guys, it's Terrie. So nice to see you. How's your heart today? How's your heart? I just needed to take a little deep breath and kind of sip y'all in, because as I connect more to my heart, I hope you guys are connecting more to your heart. Our heart is so amazing and just so beautiful, and it really allows us to experience life here on planet Earth and to help us navigate our way through our experience here. And I just have so much gratitude to all of you guys for being there and asking your questions, because one of my values, and I've recently learned what specifically my values are, is connection. And so by you asking me questions and me being able to be there for you to help you through any type of guidance or whatnot, allows me to connect, right? It allows me to connect. And it's just really meaningful. So thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for being there and asking your questions. And here's a question that I was asked. And it was, how do I get out of indecision? I have to come up with making decisions, and I don't always know how to. How do I get out of this yes, no, wishy-washy way? So I wanted to talk to you a little bit about indecision today, and maybe hopefully bring to you a way or two, or at least explain why it might be happening. And just hopefully, share with you about how to maybe get out of indecision. I mean, being in indecision sucks ass. I mean, I don't think there's another way to say it. And you know me, I don't sugarcoat shit. I just say it like it is, right? Being in indecision is actually very unhealthy, and I'm going to tell you why. Because you're leaking energy. When we don't know which direction to go to, and we sit, we think, we marinate, we ruminate on what should I do, how should I do it, and we do it over and over and over again, and we don't just say, let's make a decision, we're leaking our energy outside of us. And we have an energy reserve that we can actually build, or we can deplete. And when we're in indecision, we're depleting our energy, and we need our energy to stay physically healthy, because we are both matter and energy. Right? So being in the frequency of indecision is a lower level vibrating frequency. Okay, and as we know, light waves move at certain paces, and they move in certain ways. So by being in indecision, you're being in disservice to yourself. What's also happening is that you're disconnected from yourself. You're not trusting yourself. And you're feeding into some sort of story that most likely is not true. But somehow, some way, you're being triggered, okay? There is a trigger. Something is happening. You are feeling threatened in some way, and you're not able to get to that place of safety where you can say, okay, I can get an answer, or I can at least trust that whatever I'm about to take on, I'll be okay with. So you're out of alignment, you're disconnected from yourself, and that is why you're in indecision. So the other reason why you're in indecision is because we live in a third dimension reality of physicality, right? So the physical world consists of polarity and duality. And what that does is there is a push-pull of energies and frequencies that are going on. And because of this third dimension, and because we have human ego, which is identity, it allows us to perceive situations, people, scenarios, things, all of those from counter opposites. Okay, so things like yes, no, fat, skinny, I just realized that. Rich, poor, sorry. Thank God for improv training, yes? Rich, poor, have, not have, ugly, pretty, right? So there's this sense of duality and polarity, and we become aware of it. And that is one of the things, or one of the reasons, there are so many, but that is a reason why we are also having a human experience, is so that we can work through those or heal those dualities and polarities within ourselves, right? And that happens through our ego and the stories that we tell ourselves. So what's happening is that we're living in a world of physicality where duality and polarity exists, A. B, we're telling ourselves a story that most likely isn't even true, just based on previous experiences, past experiences, where we've had outcomes and results that have either been consistent or they're just patterns, right? So, and then the third thing that's happening is that we're disconnected from ourselves, so we don't even know what the truth is, right? So what we need to be doing is, when it comes to indecision, is we need to stop and we need to take a look and see what is going on here. And we can know what is happening, or I can say it like this, we can know what needs to be healed in any given moment by seeing what is going on around us, right? So remember, where you focus your attention is where energy is going to go. And it's going to happen whether you're aware of it or not, right? So are you leaking your energy out? Are you looking for the outside, for whatever's being reflected outside to validate you, right? Because if your story is, I'm worthy, I'm unworthy, I'm not lovable, I'm not X enough, and that is what is going on in the inside, there's gonna be reflections of that, because it's an indicator, because all we ever do, we are electromagnetic beings, so we're always matching up to frequencies that are just like the frequency we are indicating, right? So if we're noticing that, and then we have to make a choice or make a decision based on what's being reflected outside, but inside we're like, our inner being or our higher selves might be saying, we're not like that, we're not like that. It's causing an inner civil war. And because we live in physicality, because there is polarity of counterpoints, we're always going to be like, should I, shouldn't I? Yes, no, pro, con, all of that. So that's a lot to contend with as a human being. And that is like the story of our lives, yeah? So the way to combat that is to see what is going on around us and understanding that that's where we're indicating in that moment, and that's what we need to heal in that moment. So again, if you're being surrounded by, people who are always running late and you're sick and tired of it, you might be indicating something within yourself with time scarcity or time issues or something, because we're only going to match to frequencies of what is going on inside us, right? So if you've got a decision that you have to make, right? If you're like, I have this job that I need to take, right? But it's going to take me an hour in traffic to drive each way. But everything else about this job is like perfect. Should I take this job? Should I not take this job? Because, the time it's going to take from good or bad, what's going on. And all around me, people are always running late and I don't know. And it's like, there's a lot going on. So you're out of indecision, right? You're out of your intuition. You're in indecision. And there's a shit ton of shit flying all around you. All these frequencies, all this confusion. Because you're disconnected. You gotta regroup, right? So making a decision means coming into alignment. It means healing the frequencies around you. And it means trusting whatever decision you make. Now, here's the interesting thing about indecision. So much energy is being depleted and leaked out of you that as soon as you make a decision, any decision, it puts an end to it. Now, whether the decision is right or wrong for you, only time is going to tell. you're not going to necessarily get that result right away. You might. In some situations you might, but not in all situations, yes? So it might even take some time to see if you've made the right decision or not made the right decision. But at that point, what if you're connected and you're in alignment with yourself, what you'll at least be able to trust is that no matter what happens, you're going to be okay. And that, as Abraham Hicks says, everything is always working out for me. But you can't feel that way, and you can't know that information unless you come together and put yourself together into alignment. And one of the ways you can see what needs to be healed in you is what's going on around me. Because again, within, without, as above, as below, or as below, as above, as without, within. Yes? So there's some considerations to take here. So being in indecision is a shitty place to be. Your best bet is just to make a decision and then trust yourself to know whatever mess happens, you can always clean up, right? And then take a look at yourself and just say, okay, what is going on here? What circumstances do I keep getting myself in? What kind of people do I keep coming across? What kind of things keep breaking down on me? You know, things like that. And then you can start healing that aspect. Because if you don't heal that aspect, living your life in indecision is going to be a miserable, hard life where all you're doing is you're just putting everything out of yourself. You're depleting your own energy reserve and you risk physical ailments. Yeah. So it is super important to be connected, whether it's to yourself, to your friends and family, to whatever. Why do you think I'm always saying stay connected? I'm not just saying that as a marketing tagline, though it works. The reality is human beings are made for connection. That's it. And you have to learn how to connect to yourself. You do. And if it's not something that you can't do on your own, there's no shame in getting help for it. Sometimes you need to go to a therapist just to find out what the fuck, right? There's no shame in the game. You're not broken. Nothing's wrong. You just have to learn how to put yourself together like a puzzle. Right now, you're just in pieces. Nothing's wrong with you. Nothing's wrong with you. And then you just learn how to shift your energy. You learn, how do I get into alignment? I can help you with that. So when I say stay connected, I mean it. So stay connected to yourself, stay connected to your friends and family. And of course, you can stay connected to me. Check me out at 𝙎𝙼𝙎𝙆𝙎𝙍.com. And I'll see ya on the flip side.